So action, let's go. In our previous video, we actually talked about differences between different client types. So you've got people who pay £500 per month to £5,000 a month. And in that video, I actually mentioned a couple of websites. And some people are basically been asking me to explain a little bit more about these websites around how either I use it or how they can potentially gain work from it. So number one, the first website is People Per Hour. There's loads of different websites similar to this, and we'll go through that over the course of this video. People Per Hour is a freelancing website where you can basically offer your services. It works in two ways, and pretty much all the sites that we're going to be talking about work in these ways. And you can make anywhere between £100 a month, £500 a month, and some people are earning £10,000, £20,000 per month via these sites. But People Per Hour is basically a freelancing website for somebody who is a website designer, a graphic designer, a social media executive, people who create thumbnails, voiceover artists. There's so much you can do on here. Now, I used to use this website for two different things. One's to look for freelancers. So when I need somebody to do some quick graphics for me, like a logo design. Now, if you reverse that, obviously, if you are a freelancer, you can put your services on here and you can charge people for your services that you do. So if you do logo design, for example, you can charge anywhere between, I don't know, £30 to £100 per logo. And that'll probably take you about a day or two to actually do that with some iterations and kind of different variations of designs. So you can actually make quite a lot of money from these sites. People Per Hour is probably one of the original sites from this list. It's one I've been using for about, I don't know, about 6-7 years now. I used to be an e-learning designer, so I used to actually work with corporations and businesses in order to do their compliance training and soft skills training, and I used to do e-learning design. I actually have worked with People Per Hour in order to get freelancers to create me some e-learning and kind of work alongside me in order to do that when I was doing some freelance work. Alternatively, I actually have offered my services on there as well. Very similar to Upwork and so forth as well. You will get jobs posted on there from people looking around and going, I need a graphic designer to design me X, Y, and Z. Then it'll be for you then to be able to propose. Now, this isn't free, unfortunately, from a freelancer's perspective. There are fees, that's how they make their money, and it's pretty much the same over all the sites. But what happens with sites like People Per Hour, which is really interesting from both parties, is that when a client basically accepts your work, they have to pay, and it basically goes into the People Per Hour escrow. Now, that money stays there until the job has been completed, because you don't want to get to a case where you do the work and these people don't pay. So the smart thing about these sites is that they actually hold the money to escrow. Any form of discrepancy from either parties, you can go back to People Per Hour and obviously show evidence of that, and then you'll get paid. That's a plus sign of People Per Hour. So the other site is what I've just kind of been talking about as well. It's very similar, is Upwork. Now, Upwork is the newer version of People Per Hour. I guess that they've kind of seen the model and they've basically done it like this. Now, I've looked at Upwork for a different variation of things, from website designers, from e-learning designers, software developers, and the thing with Upwork is that it actually is more for freelancers and businesses as well. So businesses can be on there and they can see potential work that comes through, and people requesting, oh, I need a website designer to help me with a 10-page website design, and it needs multimedia to be put on there, and it needs the e-coms or whatever it might be, and people will bid for that. You have to remember, from a global perspective, people on these types of sites are going to be very active. Now, depending on where you are in the world, you'll get different variations of pricing from anywhere from, I don't know, I'll just use an example. So a website designer potentially in India will be a lot cheaper than somebody who's based here in the UK. So, but then a lot of people who are based in the UK looking for work, they might not necessarily want to work with somebody from India because of different things such as language barriers, time zones. There's loads of different things and different reasons why different people work with different skill sets and people from different locations. For me personally, if I can see somebody producing work and they're based in, I don't know, Brazil, Argentina, India, the Philippines, for example, and their work is cheaper, but they're still doing it just as well as the person from the US or the UK, then it makes more commercial sense for me then to go to them. From people who are watching this video, you can be anybody with any skill set level and put yourself in this position where you can bid for these work. Alternatively as well, you might list a services of what you can do, so you don't have to bid. You can actually have people purchase the services. With Upwork, you can obviously see how much these people have earned over Upwork, and there is loads of different variations. So I'll look at Google Ads for an example. So on Google Ads, you've got people here who make anywhere between $10,000 in total, to some people who've made potentially millions, and some people who have not made so much, because there's differences between skill sets levels and kind of experience. So normally what happens is the more reviews you get back from these types of sites, the more you would then become more in the forefront. So reviews are really important. So obviously making sure that customer satisfaction happens, making sure that you deliver on time when you've said that you're going to deliver and meet clients' expectations. There's nothing worse than a client saying that you're going to get it back by Monday morning and then you don't get it back until Friday night. You will get a bad review. So you really need to be careful that you're not doing that. And that kind of works over all these sites that we're talking about, is basically making sure that your reviews are on point and making sure that you do what you say that you're going to do for your clients. So the next site is Fiverr. Very similar again, but the good thing about Fiverr is if I'm looking for a service, instead of looking for freelancers specifically, I can look for services. So you'll get freelancers who basically list their services, which you can probably see here on the screen. And from one person, you will be able to see what services they can do. So if you type in anything from there, from, I don't know, Google Ads management, it'll come up with one person, for example, or a list of people, and you can click onto that person, you can read the reviews, and then they'll have their services on there, and you can basically see what packages that they offer. Because sometimes you don't want to go through that whole point of, let's see what this person's bidding, going through all these proposals that are coming through, everyone's trying to be salesy, when you've basically got a list in front of you of, this is what I want, it's going to cost me £400, and this is what I'm going to get back in return for that £400. And it makes it very simple. So if you have a clear vision about what you're wanting or what you're looking to sell, you could basically go into Fiverr, list that as a kind of service or a package, and then you basically wait for people to find you. So obviously things like SEO, for example, I've used Fiverr quite a few times for SEO, and basically what I've done is typed it in, I found somebody I liked, I looked at the reviews, basically for £400, I saw a full package, and it basically included a list of services which met my expectations. And if this person then delivers what they say they are going to deliver on time and to a good standard, then obviously their reviews, what we have to leave as consumers, is going to be amazing. There's loads of different types of sites like this, but the ones I personally use, like I said before, are People Per Hour, Fiverr, and Upwork as well. So I definitely recommend, if you are a freelancer, or if you're looking to kind of get some extra income, £400, £500 per month, list yourself on there. See what jobs are actually available, which kind of meet your criteria, your skill sets, and then bid for them. Alternatively, as I said before, you can list your services and wait for somebody then to hopefully search for you, see your kind of reviews, your prices, and then they might just approach you and select that service straight away. So definitely recommend. Thanks for listening again to Coffee with Cass. This is just another quick introduction to these services and things that can definitely make you more money over 2023. If you like these videos, like, subscribe, share, and hopefully I'll see you soon.